Okay, let me set my headphones down. Give me 1 second. Cool. Let's talk about this. So, this is me using AUM as my workflow. Now, AUM gets used so much online. So, this demo is really not about AUM itself, but more or less, I'm taking some of the same things I would do in Drumbo and bringing it to right here to AUM. So you'll see some people like their MIDI to be, I'll hide this, in different channels. Let me use the mouse, like a channel here. I usually just want one channel because I typically don't record everything in here. But I thought, why not? Let's do a video. So 2 fingers on this mouse pad, just making sure it works. Okay, cool. It's not as smooth as I would like it to be. So I'm just gonna use the my hand to move it back and forth. So I got FM, Maker FM, which I'm using kind of for the hold on a second, let me do this. Okay, I'll keep the mic solo and then I'll solo the part that I want you to hear. So this is just for the percussion. Oh, you know what? Let me take that off. I want you to have to hear the click. All right, here we go. So all of them have, and I probably could have made one EOS 2, but sometimes like the keys, I'll use 20%. Percussion, I might use 10% of it. But I always use the ambient. And here's that going in a little 2-bar. All right, now let's look at this one. So this is the Clef Grand Orchestra, kind of give it a little hats, or a little percussive type thing, rather. That's not really hats. And that one was simple. I just made a 2-bar with the loop. Probably could have did 1 bar, it'd have been fine, but whatever. Then you have my favorite step sequencer drum app. Play Beat 3 would be number 2, but this is definitely number 1 for me right now. Shout out Brambos, the dev there. Simple little beat, but when you combine it with really simple, right? All right. One of my favorite apps that I can use, well, you can use it on desktop, but also iOS. And it's sort of like, it's made by Spitfire Audio, decent sampler. And it's kind of, it's free, number 1. And this piano that I'm using, the claustrophobic piano, reminds me, it's made by the same guy that makes the soft piano for Spitfire Labs for free. He offered this one too for free, and it sounds really good. So take a listen to this. So see, it's got that real feel. Oh, sorry, my dog's sensing somebody's at the door. And the EOS 20%. She is obviously checking to make sure we know somebody's at the door. Use chord pads. Now that Tonality can run scalar chords in them. So there you go. I would restart this video, but I'm not, because I'm just trying to I was trying to make this quick. Okay. Recorded those into Atom 2. And then the last one is the bass. So these are 8 bars long. I always like to use about 8 bars. And what I you've seen this in the previous videos where I show you the making of a song and basically use, I own Trillion on desktop, and this is just kind of one of the presets that I use the most, probably in most of the songs, which I play bass too. So I also have that option, but on iPad, I find it easier to just use something in here because every time I try to play, I gotta hook up a bunch of stuff just to do it. So, yeah, this last channel is just me where I'm talking. So I'm not gonna solo the bass out. It sounds better when you hear it with the song. So now I'll just play you the song and show you what I did. All this noise in the background, I apologize. Oh, you know what? I gotta take my voice off solo. 1 second. Here's that bass. So one trick, let's stop for a second. I'm gonna show you this trick I use. One of the things I love about Atom, by the way, you can turn off the quantize if you don't want that on. But up here, let me use the mouse. I never get to do this. So yeah, right here you can turn off quantize. But you see the scales option? So if you know the key to your track, or the scale, whatever that your track is in this case it's D sharp, or I should say it could be E flat, because it's actually E flat. Whatever, it's the same. And it's in a major scale. So it's E flat major, or I think C minor or C sharp minor. Brain's drawing blanks right now. Sorry. But I'm using the major. So there you go. So if you set it, and then I've shown this years ago when I was starting videos, what I liked about Atom 2 is you can map the keys to the white, map the notes to the white keys is what I'm trying to say. Okay. And then what I did was connected the piano roll, which you'll see right here, to the keyboard that's built in. And I literally played that bass right inside of here. Okay. So there you have it. Simple as that. Now, if I'm working in here, I would probably still want to do a live mix. And I showed you this in a previous video with Drumbo. Now, I found Drumbo easier when it came to mapping the notes. In here, though, you can map stuff. I'm just not 100% sure on mapping the mutes in solo, how that works. I think I may have some clue. I think it's down here. And there it is, actually, right there. But I just don't know how to do it with the QWERTY keyboard. That's what I'm saying. So I'll have to figure that out. Somebody knows, though. I'll figure it out. I do know the space bar on this keyboard works to start or play and stop it. So watch. See, just that easy. But how do I go back? I don't know. So, I mean, either using the mouse or you have to find a setting for it. But anyway, take a listen to the song. That's the end of this video. I'm doing those mutes by hand. So it's kind of jazzy, percussive little vibe going on. My favorite type of music, right? I will be saving this. Always make sure you save and rename it. I would love to see an option in AUM, and this is kind of petty, but something to, you know, those, I think Drumbo does it. No, Loopy Pro does it, where they give you like these random names. Some people hate that. And I used to feel that way, but sometimes, like, if I don't have a word to describe, it might just be the one that pops up. So that would be cool, a little optional random name generator in here for some titles. But I always put the key of the track, the BPM, and in this case, I'm gonna name this song my typical go-to when I don't know what to name it. Yeah, sorry about the clicking on the keyboard, but it is what it is. Just jazzy vibes. And then we'll do 73 BPM. And you can put oh, of course, that would do away. And then this would be E flat. Yeah, so it's E flat. So there it is. All right, we'll just hit save. And cool, so now at least I know it's gonna hold my information and what I did. On the bass, a lot of times I would use the I think I showed you this in the previous one too. Clef Grand's grand finale. And then I didn't even put a mastering track in this one, but I probably would do that. And then I would take the bass down about 6 dB. Something like that. Yeah. And then once you make a mastering channel, so like for instance, it's harder to do with this a mouse. Let me see. Yeah, it's kind of hard for me to do that with the mouse. So this could be the mastering channel, right? Then you just set it up with the mix bus A. I'm just using that one because that's the first one there. You can change it up how you want it. Mix bus A. So all of these would be using the same mix bus unless you want to route them differently. This is a simple routing. There you go. And then you can start putting in your other things that you want to use. This is new, Reels. I actually like it on, like for the mastering. There's a couple settings, like mastering mellow or even vintage. I'm gonna go mellow. And I usually turn the output down a little bit so it's not so noisy, because it is noisy. And noise is okay. I also use another thing I like to use is FabFilter's Saturn. Just drop it on the track, put it up there. And you know I love Clef Grand's Haze. So you could get Haze in there. And then last but not, I usually use the natural width. And last but not least, I always put tone boosters. You don't really need this, but it has a limiter on there to keep it from clipping or going all crazy. Or sometimes like the track will be too low and I can't. And I wanted to push it as far as it can, so that'll kind of do it. But check this out. There you go. And if you feel like it's too loud, then you could always adjust this. Here, I'll use this. You can adjust this right here. Bring it down to like 3 dB or 5 dB or 4 dB, whatever you want to do. That's it. And then just throw some. I have no leads on here or any texturing, major texturing that I would do. So I probably would look for a sample. For instance, let me show you this. Why not? Since I'm already showing you everything else. Go in here. I'll probably use a file player and just take a loop from, let's see, one folder. There's Lo-Fi Folly. Yeah. So Cymatics gives out that free life thing. And then you can have, I don't even know if this is going to sound good, but we're going to put a loop on it. And let's see how it sounds. Gotta turn it down real low. And sometimes you might want to put a little ambience on it. Maybe like something like that. Or if you don't like that one, then you can always go back and maybe get like the waves. I'll probably go with something really light. You know what your vibe is for that track. Sometimes I like the rain. So you might want to start your track with something like that. Something like that. Yeah. Drop the drums and percussive stuff out a little bit. Bring it back. All right, that's the end of this video for real this time. But I just wanted to show you this is my element of how I might make a track. It still has structure, but has some variance in it that kind of give you some extra texture, some extra randomness to some degree. Of course, you got to figure out where you're going to drop points and do all that kind of stuff. That's a whole nother beast. But yeah, just fun times making music, you know. All right, this time I'm out.